everybody. Not too long ago we featured a green iguana named Ava that has been with our local iguana rescue, RICA, for a little bit over a year now, and she recently started developing some calcified eggs that she was not able to pass. So we featured her on the channel, and within 24 hours the funds for her surgery were completely covered by you amazing fans. So first off, thank you for all of your generosity and for helping out RICA to fund Ava's surgery. Today is actually the big day where Ava is getting her surgery. We are here at Cedar Pet Clinic, so you can see your donations in action and we can see how her surgery goes. So here is Ava, and Dr. Plants will be doing the procedure today. So why don't you explain to everyone watching what all we're gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna do, not me, you.
Yeah. So we're concerned that she has potentially some retained eggs in her abdomen, and so we'll anesthetize her, give her some good pain medication, open her up and see if we can remove them. The hope is that in the same time we'll kind of remove her ovaries and her reproductive tract so that we don't have this problem again in the future.
That makes sense. Maybe while you're in there anyway, we may as well just
spay her at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, yep.
I mean, there's always a chance that things could go bad.
For sure.
So we're keeping, you know, positive spirits, but
yes,
there's always a chance. So
yep, we'll be in communication with RICA and making sure that we're doing what's best and most comfortable for Ava.
Okay, well, fingers are crossed. We'll check back when she wakes up.
Sounds good.
Well, I just got the call and Ava's surgery was a success, but what we thought were eggs, calcified eggs, were actually huge bladder stones, like some of the biggest bladder stones they have ever removed from an animal before. So Kathy and I are gonna meet up at the vet clinic and see how Ava's doing, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really curious to see what these bladder stones look like, so let's head on inside.
So we're getting Ava ready to go home here. She did great during surgery today. We opened her up and discovered that what we thought were eggs were actually bladder stones. So this is the triangular one here. We have another one that we're going to send out for analysis to see what the composition is. They were quite large. We did weigh them. The two of them weighed about 117 grams. She also did have a lot of follicles on one of her ovaries, so we were able to remove that. She is still recovering, but she is breathing great on her own. Her temperature is good. Overall anesthesia went super great. So now she's got the road to recovery. Kathy's going to do some antibiotics. We'll do pain control, get her eating, get some weight on her now that she's quite a bit deflated after taking everything out. But yeah, overall surgery went really well.
This is a huge bladder stone.
Yeah.
For those who don't realize, like, for dogs and cats, how big are bladder stones typically?
The largest one I think I've taken out of a dog was that, but most of the time they're small pebble size.
Jeez, that's...
So this was kind of like something formed, a small stone formed, and then her body just kept making layers and layers, which is why the x-ray looked more like what the radiologist thought was an egg, because it was just kept doing layers upon layers.
So this is a calcium layer? This is all calcified?
My hunch is it's a calcium oxalate stone. There's different kinds that they can get, so the university will tell us what the composition is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you think this was years in the making?
It could have been years in the making, yeah, for sure.
And what usually causes bladder stones in like reptiles?
In iguanas.
In an iguana, I mean, since most of them are calcium composition, it's a calcium imbalance in the diet or a metabolism problem. And so we know before you got her, before RICA had gotten her, that she was probably in a poor environment. And so it certainly could have started then that her body just wasn't metabolizing calcium appropriately. And if there was, if she was dehydrated and there was her urine was concentrated, that's the environment that will start to get a stone to form.
So in the x-rays, her other bones looked like they were in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So we don't have to necessarily be concerned about her drawing calcium from her bones.
I would not at this point, no. I think the chance of these recurring is pretty minimal.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
because now that we've corrected her environment and she's had better nutrition, so yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
Better, yeah.
So what does this look like to you?
Yeah, well, it kind of reminds me of those fluffernuss cookies. Fluffernuss
The Christmas cookies?
Christmas cookies, yeah.
What a great
The
visual.
powdered sugar on them. I cannot thank the donors enough, because we wouldn't have been able to gotten this done this soon. And so, you know, we're very, very grateful for all the donations.
So we're gonna have her come back in about 2 weeks. We'll check her incision. We will probably need to keep the stitches in a little bit longer. And then Kathy will decide after once she's fully healed if she's able to be adopted out. Yeah.
And then when she's adopted out, there'll be plenty other iguanas available through RICA as well, so you should check them out.
Yes.
Well, first things first, those bladder stones were huge. I couldn't believe it when I saw them in person. Can you imagine having 2 of those inside of your body for years on end? Just insane. I bet Ava is gonna feel so much better now. But before we wrap this video up, I just wanna say how cool it is to see the dedication Kathy with RICA has to all of the iguanas in her care. She really goes above and beyond to make sure that her adoptable iguanas have the best of care until they find their forever homes. So I am so glad that Ava is in her hands until she finds her forever home. I also want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for not only watching this video, but for those of you who contributed to help fund Ava's surgery. Together, we were able to get the entire thing covered by donations. A lot of that came from our Patreon supporters, so I want to thank everyone who backs our channel on Patreon, because we can use your donations in really positive and good causes like this one. If anyone's interested on how Ava is doing in her stages of recovery, just check out RICA's Facebook page, because they already have some updates posted and there'll be more to come. So go like RICA on Facebook, and thank you again for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. You could probably say that you're Kathy with RICA, because I don't think I've introduced it.
I wore my RICA shirt.
Oh, really? I can just...
Well, it kind of reminds me of those Fluffernuss cookies. Fluffernuss
The
cookies.
Christmas cookies?
Christmas cookies, yeah.
What a great
The
visual.
powdered sugar on them.